PR's got it. PR got it. Don't worry. PR, you're going to figure it out, aren't you?
Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. It's not as good as an intro as Colin Crow Clark, but he's too excited. Unplugging his mic. My name is PR, and joining with me is the man, the thesaurus, the man that can write you a novel in a moment's notice with his words that can hype up anybody back from the dead, Colin Crow Clark.
I was going to do my best mime impersonation. I was going to start talking, and I was going to hope that when you didn't hear my voice that you'd just start talking, so it would look like I was talking, but it was your beautiful voice over my non-talking head ass. But one thing is another. One thing is for certain. Pittsburgh Knights, UYU, they're about to get going here into this next matchup. Both of these teams, they've had some rocky parts of their season. Pittsburgh Knights have dropped maps. They've dropped matches to teams that we didn't expect them to. I mean, they certainly had a really rough Friday. UYU, the only pillar they ran into that stopped them was Vanquish. And I mean, who hasn't stopped them at this? Who hasn't Vanquish stopped at this point in their tournament life? So UYU, they're looking to step things up. But Pittsburgh Knights, from all intents and purposes, from what I've been able to see today, they have been in a different gear on a completely different level.
Yeah, and Colin, you know as well as I do, we were talking about this match while the other one was going on. As soon as this one did get announced, this is like deja vu for us. We've been here before. Week 1 of the Pro League, it was the Pittsburgh Knights versus UYU. Obviously, that result is already known to the public. Pittsburgh Knights took that series away from UYU and progressed on that season to kind of dominate, only getting second to Vanquish. The thing is here, Colin, I said it was deja vu. That means it's the same thing. Possibility happening again, the same feeling, the same intuitions, and guess what I have? The same damn shirt I have last time. The King of Latin America, followed by the Pittsburgh Knights, are going to go ahead and take this series. It doesn't really matter. 2-1, 2-0. It doesn't matter. 3-0. It can be whatever the scoreline wants it to be. The Knights are going to take this series.
Look, I don't disagree with you. They have been playing today out of their absolute mind, PR. So right now, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup for me because I want to see how UYU reacts to what has happened thus far in their tournament life. If they can find a way to slow down the onslaught of the Pittsburgh Knights, both teams already having their home hill under control. You can see, though, the Pittsburgh Knights do have that top button control already. And UYU looks like they're going to go for a home-to-home stretch. Let's see how quickly Pittsburgh Knights decide to rotate over and try to stop them from getting this home-to-home stretch and put some pressure onto the Pittsburgh Knights.
Wow, some new strategies coming out from UYU, and they're instantly taking it to PK. Longest respawn timers of the game. As a reminder, Monkyz Raver going down is going to be huge. These players are allowed to sandwich through spawn. Take note of Xplosive. He's making it happen. That SuMuNs getting flanked. He's going to get taken down. And there's one thing you guys need to note of about a lot of teams, specifically this UYU roster, is their ability to stagger the depths of their opponents. Yes, this time might have been 16 seconds. Nobody was able to respawn, but take note of that as this one progresses. Any opportunity they have to kind of stagger the deaths, kill each other around a few seconds apart to make sure that the enemy team is never up as 5, they will take it. And before we can even get some good commentary under our belts, Colin, round 1 is under the books, and it's on way to UYU.
Me and good commentary don't really go that much in the same sentence, so that's all right for everybody at home. We come to round number 2. We're going to have the loadout utilities placed for both teams. Let's see if that changes any of their fortunes. Something I want to give a quick note to is I'm not sure the Pittsburgh Knights have ever seen that. UYU feigned the push up top and then sent 3 across that home-to-home stretch through the cogwheels, really putting the pressure on the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights. I'm not sure if you're going to get away with that 2 rounds in a row. I think you're going to have to match them this time finally, and we do see it, a 2-2-1 across the map. Powerz trying to flood to their side of the map. First in, gets the reaction shot on the SuMuNs, and now is pushing forward. A lot of damage out. They have 2 more members of the Pittsburgh Knights down, taken out. Identivez trying to hide here at the B hill, is not going to be able to do much except bounce around and try to run. And TJ has won his 1v1. So thankfully, SuMuNs has come off of respawn and is now able to push back against the tide. But I mean, UYU is going to be set up 3, maybe even 4 deep there. 2 seconds until the domination. The slide from Monkyz won't matter a hill of beans in this one. 43 seconds faster than the first, but PR, UYU looking scary thus far.
And the feeling of deja vu is there, Colin. but I'm getting the deja vu from the wrong match. This reminds me of back when Billy might have still been playing. You had Praized on the team Solars when Optic Gaming made that first Super Squad. When they went up against Ghost Gaming, when they went up against Echo Fox, they completely suffocated them in that match. In less than 2 minutes, we have 2 rounds in the book for UYU, and this is beginning to look exactly like that. UYU is suffocating their competition and not giving them a chance to breathe. No strats, no respawns, nothing. PK has to find a way to stay alive past this initial, because that's how far the game has gone to this point.
I hate to break it to you, PR, but if you take a look at that scoreboard, I think my main man was trying to give us a look-see into how this has gone. Pittsburgh Knights, no kills, no assists, nobody sitting on anything other than a goose egg in that category. They're going to have to change that fortune around. They're already down 2-0. They need to start finding kills, downs, assists, whatever it may be, and however it may come, but that's not the start you want with Monkyz going down. One of the best players throughout the entirety of the Pro League, but there you go. The answers come back. The kill feed will light up a bit red for a time. SuMuNs has Powerz in front of him. Powerz tries to get the sneak, and SuMuNs said, boy, if you don't get out of here with that, I'm still the 1v1 king, and I will put you on skates anytime I so please. Xplosive, SuMuNs, 2 old teammates, and Xplosive said, oh, we're going to have 2-to-1 hills? Okay, that's fine. I'll back off. I don't really need this. You need it. I don't.
I like what he's doing here. He's not overstaying his welcome on that side of the map. He's running all the way back as well instead of trying to go for the turnaround cheeky shots where typically you see it turns into a 50-50. But this time around, PK, they're sending 2 members directly in towards the middle. They do have SuMuNs up towards the top, I do believe, unless he's stuck in towards the pillar. So yes, they do have 3 players directly on the field. They have to get this decap. But the Lancer Fire from UYU, seemingly too strong. They're not going to get that capture. Monkyz needs to be careful. He does go down. That was the opportunity UYU needed. Powerz with a huge flank through the middle. He's going to get 2. He's going to pick up possibly another one. But no, he is not. He's going to get away for just a moment. But look at him quickly rotating around through the center of the map. They know their win condition. They know they need to solidify these hills. And they're going right after it, wasting no time. Luckily for SuMuNs and his teammate Monkyz, they're off of respawn. So they have an opportunity here to buy some time. But how much time can they actually buy? Triple cap domination sounding off for just a moment. Monkyz going for an up A. He's just bouncing around in the pillars, unable to make some happen. SuMuNs gets taken out as well. So unfortunately for PK, 3-0 is the result after 3 rounds, and it is going in way of UYU. And if you look at the scoreboard, only 3 total kills.
That is not what you could ever imagine seeing for a Pittsburgh Knights team. But hey, I was actually a bit silent during that round. I apologize to you for that, but I was actually taking some notes. One of the things that I noticed Pittsburgh Knights have not caught on to yet, that UYU is actually doing better than I've seen them do in a long time, is they're getting their rotations out quicker than they have since maybe that last major. I mean, it's amazing to see them fly somebody through cogwheels, down through that B hill, around the back of the incinerator, get somebody into that next Lancer angle. They are doing it in a flash dash, but it looks like we're gonna have a 4v4 with one more member of the Pittsburgh Knights going for a long rotational flank down at the bottom. Here he comes from behind, but it looks like most of Pittsburgh Knights have already died up top. They have one more member to worry about. That's gonna be Monkyz. Raver's gonna come up. Monkyz is still gonna be on the Pittsburgh side of the map. Raver goes for one reaction. He gets a chunk on to TJ, but not gonna be but so much. Monkyz, meanwhile, kills off Xplosive. UYU will have the drop of the hands of Praized. They will also have at least their home hill to their benefactor. They need to try to get into that B hill, but they're not going to have control over it just yet. Praized, I think, is going to mount up a little bit of defense toward the middle of the map. He's going to swing back and forth. He sees that Powerz has some help. He's going to have to probably get a revive off, and he does very quickly. Good job by Praized to be here. They need to find a kill here quickly, especially with that dropout. Inactive drop comes through, and Praized, I mean, that seemed a little silly to the naked eye, just throwing around, just swinging around, but my man has got 2 rockets, 2 kills. 2 members of UYU are down, though, and it looks like Dezonide is going to clean them up. Big Dezo, I know he's probably still got the cheering section, even though they ain't playing on land.
Wow, TJ with the reaction shot while getting full red. Monster plays from UYU. This round going a little bit longer. You see PK slowly but surely warming up. SuMuNs does get taken out, but he does get a trade. That's going to be crucial. Identivez takes out Xplosive. Captain versus captain going down, but the fight is going to continue. Nice flash grenade from Identivez. So an opportunity for a capture here, but if I'm PK, I'm not happy with a capture. You're down 50 points, and the pressure from UYU, even down a man, is just insane right now. Luckily, PK finds a way to take out Kenny, so it's going to slow down the pressure just a little bit. But how much? Not enough, in my opinion. They're going to try to continue to get right back onto the field, but if they don't watch out, that flank through the middle is going to cost them their lives.
There goes Dezonide. He's down. Nobody's going to be in the area to pick him up. Full shots out from Powerz. Bunch of back A's. My goodness gracious. Good God almighty. Powerz gets at least one kill. He sacrifices himself to the gods, PR, and that's 2 big kills for Dezonide. But just the fact that he was able to push up pressure that much to B-Hill with simple back A's off the cover is just an absolute godsend to see for fans of UYU. Identivez is getting backed up into his own spawn. That is a gruesome twosome if I've ever seen one. TJ and Xplosive flying through the middle of the map, and now it looks like UYU is going to have a good setup here. You see the drop shot getting picked up top, but Identivez, oh my, no,
stop this.
What's no mas vidas? Is that what it is? No mas vidas? Is that what it is, baby? Is that how you
no
say
mas vidas, Identivez. You're out of lives, amigo, and now the rest of your team's going to have to do it without you. Powerz takes out. Can we just leave the camera on Powerz? Go back. Go. Okay, never mind. Tom knows best. Shout out Tom for that one.
Tom knows best. Shout out Tom for that one. One more. Look at the roll. The desperation roll. The 4-0. UYU are, they're not 4-0 yet. They still got 30 seconds to live. But without Identivez, without El Capitan on their side coming out of spawn, this is going to be hellacious to fight back against. There is almost little to no error that they can make in the rest of this round. Dezonide looks like he's going to try to rotate across the back of the incinerator where you see Raver at the forklift area, those mid-cut covers. This is going to get very difficult. They need a full 5-man wipe or a triple cap domination to come away with this round victory. Down to just 5 seconds left. They need to be on the hills in the next second or two, and they're not going to be there. No way, no how. 4-0, UYU stepping on the competition in map number 1.
Hold on, Colin. Hold on one moment. I got to make a phone call real quick. I got to make a phone call to PK.
Are you going to ask people why I said no mas vidas?
I need to be their wake-up call right now because they're still sleeping by the looks of it, man. 4-0. And the reason why I say they're still sleeping, Colin, is because these rounds, they're not even close. That last round was the closest round we've seen so far, and it was completely still dominated by UYU. And in particularly one player, that man Powerz up top. It starts with him on these initials. He is just completely dominating his opposition, but it doesn't come without that help. That man up top, Kenny Bounce, 2 kills, 15 downs, 5 deaths. Him and Powerz seem to be the perfect combination to each other.
Kenny cracks me up because I know people are going to be in the chat like, drop Kenny, how you going to drop 2 kills? He's out here shooting everybody, though. He ain't getting the kills for him, but he's putting in more damage, and Carter's got liver pills. Flash grenades out from both sides. They're getting in a big fight here over that drop shot. Xplosive backs up around the corner. Needs one more shot on Identivez. He's not going to find it, though. There's the initial that Pittsburgh Knights needed. They win their first round of the map off of elimination domination in less than 30 seconds.
All right, my phone call got through. I woke him up. Don't worry. Danny was dead in that last round. I made sure to call him, not to disrupt him. So we're going to be good here from here on out. The PK comeback is possible. I'm not going to say it's real just yet. I'm just going to say it's possible. The Incins versus shock grenades, that's going to be the big thing here. And I think that's actually really going to help PK. But the thing is, UYU has been making so many adjustments, so many audibles. I think they're going to see this one coming. They've been watching a lot of VQ gameplay. You got to expect that Incin to go up top toward those steps. I think UYU is either going to push across or play some sort of Lancer strategy. If they do not, this is Pittsburgh Knights' best chance.
Well, I think what they have to do is try to Lancer across and move from position to position across the bottom. There's the flash grenades. That incendiary is going to be coming here in the next few seconds. You should see it through the window. There it drops onto Powerz and gets the double kill. Praized and Powerz both down. TJ, though, a couple of downs to his name, but they're not going to find the kills. I don't know how you didn't see that coming. I need glasses, contacts, bifocals, and binoculars, and I'd have still seen that move coming from 1.5 miles away. Pittsburgh Knights taking a page out of Vanquish's playbook, and I don't know how you don't call that out if you're on UYU, but that gives Pittsburgh Knights their second round going into the later parts of this second half. And once again, we go to the weapon placement screen. We saw it earlier, PR. Pittsburgh Knights have favored that incendiary. If I'm UYU, get that out of here. Get it out of here. There you go. Take it out.
But 4-2, you know as well as I do, typically they like to build up their side and then save that lock towards the end. Nah, they want to close this one out now. They don't want to give up any inches because they know and respect a team like PK to know that if you give them an inch, they will begin to take a mile. But we got another 10-man brawl towards the top side, and we're going to be on board Xplosive here. El Capitan, one of the most winning squads in esports history. He's going to take out one in Identivez. DJ gets the down, but here comes the reinforcements, knowing when to get his hands dirty. He's going to get that down. Multiple eliminations on the side of UYU. Monkyz the last one alive, and there it goes. Win by elimination, sounding off for a moment, but Identivez doing his best to stay alive, and I love this, Colin. He's just trying to extend it. If he would have died there, it would have been all over, but he bought some time for his team. I don't know how much time. I don't know if it's enough, but they get inside. The drop shot's going to go off. The break has not come through. The eliminations are, though. It finally comes through, but too many eliminations are going off on favor of UYU. They're going to take this map 5-2 in 51 seconds.
Let me explain something to you, PR. I love that play out by them. They lose 2 rounds in a row. They block out the incendiary, and I remember way back in the day, I'm sitting across from my main man, Ashes, at E-League. I'm sitting in the crowd. We're talking in between games. I said, brother, come here. He said, what? And I said, if you get to 4 rounds and you can take off a whole weapon from your opponent's side of the map, why do teams not do that? He said, you know, Colin, we like to do this, we like to do that, we like to make sure that we have this and that so that if we get to a round 9, we can hold on to that disable and try to win a round 9. I said, sucker, there ain't that many rounds if you win round 7. If you go ahead and disable that sucker and get it out of here, you go ahead and finish this bad boy off at 7. Ain't no need to go to a round 9. I love that play call by UYU. I expect to see that more often. If they get to 4 rounds and they've got a disable in the back pocket and they at least have one of their secondary grenades worked up, a shocker and incendiary, expect that to be coming down the pipeline that much more often. They got a 1-0 lead going into map number 2, PR. This is an intense game. I like people at home to really understand that this matchup is a lot deeper than UYU is dominating. Pittsburgh Knights aren't getting kills. Yeah, that was the first 2 rounds, but that's how good these 2 teams are, and that's how fine the line is when you get to this top tier of gear esports. When you come to play with these kinds of teams, you give them one set of wipes, chalk it. It's over. Go back to the locker room, figure out what you're going to do next round, because it's going to be hard-pressed for anybody on the planet to really get retakes against the likes of Pittsburgh Knights and UYU. That's why when the money's on the line, the bright lights are on, and you step on the big stage against the likes of Pittsburgh Knights and UYU, you better come correct, because you're coming to kings.
Yep, and there's one thing you guys really need to take note on if you guys are trying to be coaches, you're trying to be professional players, you're trying to play like UYU, and I say this time and time again, is after those initial kills, take note of exactly where they go and how they put the pressure on. I don't see any team really put the kind of pressure UYU does as consistently as they do it after getting those initial kills, because time and time again, we see teams fight back, we see teams trade off kills. Nope, not for UYU. When they want to get a triple cap, they go for the triple cap. When they know they need another round of slaying while putting that pressure, they get that another round of slaying. So make sure you guys are taking these notes for UYU on these pressure situations, because they will pay off in the end. They know the difference between biting off more than you could chew and biting off just the right amount to get full.
And hey, look, that's like I said, that's that fine line that we keep seeing between these 2 teams. Yeah, we're now going to flip on over. This next map, though, this is what's scary to me. That was Pittsburgh Knights' map pick, PR.
Yep.
And now we're going to UYU's map pick. Can the Pittsburgh Knights answer back on bunker? Do UYU have something up their sleeve? Do they got maybe something in the back of the trunk of tricks that they're about to pull out and stomp them out on bunker? Or do the Pittsburgh Knights, is their aggression, is their fast-paced play, the way as big as this map is it going to come back and give them the chance to get back into this with a second map under their belt?
Oh, it's definitely going to play into UYU's favor. They have all the momentum on their side. They definitely know how to take it a little bit slower. We saw yesterday that they weren't necessarily as impressive going undefeated as they did last when they did the Dream. We saw them during the Pro League. Definitely was a little underwhelming to witness, but sometimes, Colin, and I always said it, this is one of those teams you don't want to beat right before the event. You want to let them win those matches, because if you beat them right before the event, guess what? They're mad. And if anybody has seen a Gears of War event in their life, a Mad Gilbert is a player you do not want to play against. You almost want to give him some cookies, give him an apple, give him a card right before the match. Get him on your good side and make sure that he is not mad at you, because like I said, he flips the switch. He's a different animal when he's angry.
I'm gonna try to paraphrase the great Xplosive, the great Gilbert. I'm gonna paraphrase him. All right, you ready for this, PR?
Yeah.
Put your bank account on it. Yeah! We all know what happened the last time somebody got into Gilbert's face up. Yeah, that's right. I was hoping one of those moths would fly out of it like an old cartoon. Look, like you said, Gilbert's a different animal. He's a different beast when it comes to land, just as Firearm and Xena and all them that were on that Toronto team. You do not want to get him pissed off. And I'm pretty sure UYU came in here pissed off because everybody forgot who they were. And I don't even know if they gave their best shot to Vanquish. But I guarantee you this, if they see him later on in the tournament, they're going to give them their best shot come hella high water. Vanquish is playing on top of the world right now. UYU, with the way they just beat up on Pittsburgh in the first map, they're looking like they are getting that much further and that much closer to that kind of golden form. They're ascending to their next level. That's why I need to see more out of Pittsburgh in this first round. I need to see the same kind of aggression and shotgun play that I saw in the 2 rounds back-to-back they won on Forge come out early on Bunker. We are just going to get into this as soon as we can, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're chomping at the bit to see how this plays out, but I promise you, it ain't me holding this sucker up. It's somebody in that lobby that ain't named Colin Clark.
I'm like, we want to get in the game just as much as you guys do.
Hold on. I'll try this, PR. I'm gonna try it. Nope, didn't work.
Oh, darn. I really thought that was the one, but no.
I always try to give it a shot.
I'll just say, on a serious note here, Colin, the Pittsburgh Knights, man, it's looking very, very scary because throughout the course of the match, sometimes when these two teams play against each other, it might be a 5-0, might be a 5-1, but in each and every one of those rounds, it's a fight to the death. It's like they're barely escaping by the hair on their chinny chin chin, but this time around, this one has not been that. They have been just decimating, annihilating, like I said, some rounds ending in less than 40 seconds. So hopefully, when we get into Bunker here, there's a little bit more of a fighting chance coming out of PK.
Well, what they got to do is they got to start off slowing up UYU. UYU took advantage of PK's speed, and they matched aggression with them. We come here to Bunker, where they're giving up the 2-1 hill cap early. They're going to try to come back into this. I think Praized is trying to catch out that one person. He does get that mark on Dezonide. He had to catch like the shoulder blade or something to that Dizzy character. Raver goes down. They're not going to get the kill on him. They actually get a couple of downs mid-map, and they're going to try to rotate around that Bunker, but Kenny Bounce is going to lose his life to the reinforcements of the Pittsburgh Knights. But look at the fight breaking out, the way that both teams are trying to trade blows here. TJ has one more up A to go. He's going to try to get Raver, but Raver sliding back and forth. The elimination domination ticks on through, and PK answer back. First round under their belt here in map number 2.
So there's one thing I want to say, and this is my statistics based off of streamed matches, and that includes E-Days, that includes, Pro League matches or any other side tournaments that the Pittsburgh Knights have played in. On Bunker, when it comes to percentage, and I'm not talking about overall winning the map, I'm talking about on last-second pushes, this is the Pittsburgh Knights' best map to get last-second pushes and have them be successful. So even though they did win that first round, I will not count them out until the elimination, domination, or time limit is reached by UYU.
I completely agree with that. I'm not counting anybody out, but my God, the way that Raver came away with that double kill. He shoots somebody in the back, and then he's got somebody like TJ in front of him, hitting him with that first back A with a concrete block, and then sees him sliding back and forth and still manages to connect with the next shot. That's just hard-pressed to come by. Now you're going to see PK get matched up down here at the artillery. A lot of shots out, and one of the things I want to point out, one of the teams that really gave UYU headaches on Bunker early on in Gears 5 were the likes of that old Mazer team, of the Pittsburgh Knights, because they played a different style from UYU. UYU didn't get the looks that they wanted, the kind of looks that they expected coming out of spawn. I think UYU has to do their homework. They've given up a huge point lead, a 50-point lead already to the Pittsburgh Knights. They're going to have to bank on a bunch of kills and then be able to hold them down. Powerz is going to get 4v1'd almost. He gets one kill. He comes out of that cubby and cleans up a down before Identivez picks up the meat shield. Playing that beautiful Big E skin. I see you, big dog. I'm repping the New Day t-shirt. You got on a Big E skin, so I know you're feeling it just like I am. The power of positivity, and they're going to have to use that going forward, because now the hills have flipped. The pressure will come back out. Identivez tries to roll up into teeth of Praized, but he gets taken down. And now Xplosive, he's going to get met by, I believe, Raver inside of that radar dish. Shots over the cover. Won't be much right now. Triple cap domination being threatened for just a moment, but 2 players for the Pittsburgh Knights are in the area of B. Xplosive trades out. He's going to get shot, though. And here come 2 more. The reinforcements from UYU. Shut him down. 1 second to go. Elimination. Domination, baby. And it ticks on through. Back-to-back rounds. It has been a slay fest, maybe. And I'm not talking about my main man, Santa Claus, coming out of the North Pole. It's been a slay fest with blood and guts being spilt all over this bunker building.
Yeah, when I talked about that stat early on, that did not include defense. I want to go ahead and tell you that, Colin. So that did not count in the statistics of the Pittsburgh Knights. But when it comes down to bunker, when it comes down to our elite teams, our most experienced, instead of putting that utility directly into the loadout of a spawner, they put and built up those incendiary grenades. So when I watch the Pittsburgh Knights, when I watch UYU, this is the exact gameplay I expect to see. So it's going to be Monkyz versus TJ Force. And I was actually talking to Praized earlier on this morning saying TJ Force is our instant player. We trust in him fully to get the job done when it comes to that bit of utility.
Hey, look, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. TJ has my stamp of approval in any fight he takes, because I'm gonna go ahead and say, you know, I'm the king of pointing these out. He's using the Luke Priest artistic Dell skin. It's that purple Lancer with that baby blue Dell artwork that Luke Priest did for Gears 5 coming out. It's got a little candle on the top. Looks really cool. I mean, it's fantastic when you get to see it up close. I'll have to put a picture of it up on Twitter for all of you at home, but it's just a fantastic look. Meanwhile, Praized, he's just showing off the Gears Esports logo.
I was like, I need these players in chat to press 1 if you honestly knew the Lancer like Colin did. Press 1 if you knew that Lancer was like Colin did. I guarantee we see half of a 1.
Half of a 1. It's gonna be a 0.5. Somebody throwing out a 0.5 real quick.
And it's gonna be Dana or somebody that works there. Oh my God, what a nice pass. A bucket pass from Monkyz. That's going to be another kill, just like you said, on Kenny Bounce. TJ, he throws that instant. He's trying to at least save the hill as long as possible. Bounces the wrong side of the cover with the crossfire and help from Raver. They Dezonide. They get another pair of kills on Powerz and TJ. That's going to allow them to kind of press up if they want to, but they're going to have to go ahead and be careful for these spawners. The respawn timers are getting low, so they're going to have an opportunity to bounce back, but a well-placed flash from Dezonide. They're getting a ton of damage on Kenny. He gets eliminated. Praized all the same, and the Pittsburgh Knights in 1:41 win their 2nd round, so they have definitely woken up after map number 1.
Hey, man, you must have had some chit-chats before the tournament started with Luxtradamus, because you said during the 1st round that this is the map that is the easiest to get late round retakes, late round pushes, and come back and get those round wins for the Pittsburgh Knights. And I hate to say this, dog, but I'm pretty sure I just saw what you was speaking on. I'm pretty sure they came back and got not a late round, but at least a mid-round retake that led to a triple cap domination for Pittsburgh Knights. Incendiaries out, utilities out for both teams. I don't think we'll see a drop or anything of that nature until way late in the game, maybe even round 8 or 9, because they're going to try to match this up as much as they can going into these initial fights. Right here, flashes out, Powerz takes over that mid-cut. He got Lancered pretty heavy. UYU can't afford to lose him once again. He's gonna get marked once again. There's Dezonide. He's gonna flip over that cover. Powerz is just rotating back and forth. I don't know if he's trying to bait the extra man out. I don't know what he's trying to figure out, but Powerz trades out with one. Identivez, good kill right there to trade out in the middle of the map, but now they've got the pressure here on TJ and Xplosive. They have to push forward. That had to be a reaction shot instant. He won't even stop. The man was in full motion of the ocean and let that sucker go like an oil rig, lighting up Exxon Valdez, dropping oil in the ocean. That thing was nasty.
I know earlier on you're talking about what is Powerz baiting out, and he actually did bait out the instant from Monkyz. So on that initial, while you saw that reaction shot instant coming out from TJ, it was Powerz who wasted that crucial bit of power from Monkyz' arsenal there. So that went ahead and allowed UYU to chain together some kills to fight for this position and set up with their base setup. So now it's going to be up to one of those pushes from the Pittsburgh Knights, but I will say, luckily for UYU, this isn't a last-second push, so the pressure is not the same. It's going to be up to to UYU, or Pittsburgh Knights, to find a way to make it happen nonetheless. Great damage on Praized, force him all the way back. The down's going to come through. Xplosive goes down as well. Xplosive, however, is going to get revived, but that angle is going to be given up. The rest of PK need to be careful because the angles kind of have switched here if they continue to take this fight. Praized gets taken out. Powerz gets down. Xplosive doing what he can, but the numbers are too much as Pittsburgh Knights completely swarm him. But there it goes. Mr. Krabs play. Pittsburgh Knights are getting all the kills, but the hills are going over to UYU. Luckily, Identivez gets into the hill in the nick of time to save this round for the Knights.
And Pittsburgh Knights have one player that's going to come off of respawn. I think they have to coordinate with him. 3-man push at the same time. Raver's coming down the hill. He's going to be behind 2. They're actually going to bring 3 members over here, which might make it a 3, maybe even a 4v, whatever is left over here. You see the downs come out. Kenny will get 1 kill. Kenny's going to try to bounce up toward Identivez on that 2nd kill. I don't know if Identivez got to pull the other weapon out. He's still stuck inside that radar dish, fighting over this home hill. First shot on, 2nd shot gets the kill, though. That's a win on the hill, if you ask me, because that's going to keep the attention and the momentum of the round in UYU's favor. They are going to be up to 225, almost 230, and they've got a long way to go. Monkyz will get taken down by TJ. There's the meat shield. He's got to worry about 2 more members coming off of that top hill. It's going to be SuMuNs and 1 other one. SuMuNs will go down in the middle of the hill. So now it's up to 2 Identivez coming around the 6 o'clock. Identivez in through the back door. Nobody's there. Nobody's in the hill. Less than 2 seconds. Not enough time. UYU will tie this bad boy up 2-2 going into the 2nd half.
You know what I will never, ever understand? I don't know how much it changes this one scenario. I just see it so often. Raver did a good job of killing Kenny there, right? I don't know. I don't remember if the hill was capped, decapped, whatever it may be. But instead of running across the map to break the hill that you need to break or you lose anyway, regardless of the cap, he stays and captures the hill. And that's something I will never understand from some players. I see it, like I said, I see it all the time. But you have to understand which situations where you need to cap the hill in and which situations you need to overextend. Because then they basically left it up to Identivez in a 1v3, 1v4 situation to break the hill. And barring a miracle and help from God himself, he will not get.
Well, we come to the 2nd half. Hopefully somebody's listening way upstairs to help maybe protect you and get you a miracle that you're looking for. Raver flashed out full red. He's got to worry about 2 players in the middle there. Powerz will get down by Xplosive, and now the kills come through. 3 straight dead, maybe even 4 with Praized getting cleaned up. TJ has to just get out. He has to survive long enough not to give up the elimination. Domination to the side of the Pittsburgh Knights. He has to live probably about 3 more seconds before anybody can come off of respawn. I believe he has made it in time. The domination will start to tick through. Can they fight off Pittsburgh Knights from their home hill? Multiple players are here, though. Nobody has capped up the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights, so somebody's not going to be here. It's going to be a 4v5 at maximum. Incendiary's out. Shots on. Powerz hasn't found 1 yet. Hasn't even gotten it down. He's going to get cleaned up. And now a double kill from Praized will start to open things back up.
Imagine they backrolled and used their Lancers there. Praized probably wouldn't have gotten that chunk, but Identivez, 4 members of PK calling in a triple cap scenario. Remember those notes I told you to take on Forge of UYU in the same scenario? Please look at the notes and tell me how they differ.
The notes are going to differ in this matter only, that they don't. So here we go to the next fight. PR is out here calling strats, calling plays. UYU comes back from the dead. They're going to tie this thing up in about 15 to 20 seconds. They're going to take this score lead. Xplosive, top of the bunker building, is going to mark out multiple members of the Pittsburgh Knights trying to come down through that middle cut entrance. You see Monkyz just bouncing around. He doesn't want to get caught slipping. He doesn't want to give up the easy 1-shot chunk. Still getting shot on. They're going to send at least 1 to 2 people in there underneath Xplosive to try to press him. Dezonide's going to be full red. He's going to go down. Not sure anybody's in the area close enough to get the revive off on him. The next push should come through toward E, but it might have to wait that much longer now because not having all of your players alive is a bad news bears moment. So Identivez slows up down here at the bottom. He's going to try to get marks out. More people from UYU just stacking up, setting up, waiting for the members of the Pittsburgh Knights to try their next move. Now 3 will rotate toward the home hill of the Pittsburgh Knights. Look at the way that they slide around. They're not going to get caught slipping. They're not going to give up the easy 1-shot chunk. Double incins picked back up.
Yeah, that's what my oh no is for. They're making a play to try to push this home hill. They took too long. Why not push before the instants are up and then not only get the decap/hill, but get the instants as well? But nonetheless, the rotation is made. SuMuNs gets one. Identivez gets traded out. The revives are there for PK, but Kenny is also there. That's going to be a massive kill before he gets shut down. Only 2 have fallen on the side of the Knights, so 4 dead for UYU. That's going to open the door wide open for the taking. But on the other side of the map, we got a sneaky goose. We got Powerz, MVP man himself, trying to go ahead and make some time for his team to keep the lead. But you see the win condition towards the top.
Oh no! Powerz gets one. They have to rotate a second member over now to try to kill him off. 220 or so, but it's going to be 220 to 119. They're going to need to get double decaps. It doesn't look like they're going to get it though. Triple cap domination being threatened for just a moment. Xplosive inside the hill will get the decap. Meanwhile, the F hill still being decapped by the corpse of Powerz.
No.
Just like my main man Vital Sam yesterday, making life a living hell for everybody that was a fan of Noble. There's the D hill capped up. The E hill might be capped up as well. And that could chalk this up to a 3-2 round count. As you can see, it's only going to be down to 7 seconds. And with Raver down and out, ladies and gentlemen, you give them an inch, they will take a mile. That is undisputed about UYU.
I don't know if you heard it in the background, but Ruth even made a noise with all the action going down. She's even surprised how the tables have turned during that one. UYU, their experience is really leading the way. And I go and talk about their experience because I said take notes on how PK versus UYU when they're in those same situations. They pressed forward with their shotguns. They got in your face. They got aggressive. All you needed to do was continue to keep that pressure up because they had a player rotating from the back line. They just needed to make sure all players from UYU did not escape, continue putting that damage out, down them out if you may be, but not put yourself in those 50-50 scenarios because they will take advantage of it. They didn't only get 1 elimination, but they eliminated 4 members of PK for that push. 4, Colin. In what world does that happen?
Not many, but it did happen in this world. We just got to witness it, cast it, call it. We come here to the 6th round. I'm trying to take a look over. Not a lot invested by the Pittsburgh Knights. A lot more invested by UYU to come away with that round victory under their belts. Raver has the pistol out. Powerz pushes him, gets 1 reaction, gets a shot on, gets a second down. Now he's going to bounce up. He kills SuMuNs as well. 3 for 3 goes Powerz. He's got 1 more to worry about. And he causes Monkyz to kill himself. He causes the suicide. Man. Elimination, domination, ticks through. 31 seconds. My man said, I might be going to the grave, bad boy, but I'm bringing your ass with me.
This is just a huge meltdown on the side of PK. This is almost looking like their Friday all over again. Nightmares that they need to be woken up from. As you see, the only real weapon on the map right now is going to be those instants. And with the flashbang going down low, you got to think something similar will be dropped on the side of PK. There's nothing really you can put down except for a drop shot center line. And that is going to go towards the artillery, towards the hop up. And that allows for more types of fight rather than putting on over towards E, to where you kind of have to run in towards the middle position to try to get it before your opponent does. This one, you can kind of play wide. You can play up top. You can play through the middle. You can lancer from that top angle where you see a lot of players sit in camp for their team at. So it's going to be interesting which strategy these 2 teams deploy. A little bit of a 3v3 versus a 2v2. Powerz going to get first blooded. Praized gets taken out by the drop shot. PK seeming to run away with this one. And now my question is, did Praized backpack the drop shot? Yes, he did. You see it on his back in the bottom right. So there'll be no drop shot in play for UYU to come back from this one. So this is a good opportunity for PK to win their 3rd round and get 1 step closer to tying it up.
Pittsburgh Knights are at the home hill of UYU. They don't have the mid-cut and they don't have their home. They're going to try to get 1 more set of slays here on the D hill. They don't let Praized get a secondary double kill. Chalk it up. We go 4-3. We're going to go over here to round number 8. Pittsburgh Knights have to win 2 in a row to send us to a map number 3. Meanwhile, UYU has to answer back and answer the bell 1 more time. And I hate to say it, PR, I get the feeling we're about to see a disable out from both squads.
I mean, if UYU does it on this map where your only real power weapon is the instance on your side of the map, you know, besides the drop shot, which is center line, you have to match it. You almost have no choices here to go ahead and make that one happen. So without these instants, you know Monkyz not going to kill himself. So PK have a chance.
PK will come forward here in the next part of this round with no incendiary to use. They have to get the same set of slays that they had at the very beginning of that round to try to come away with a victory. Smokes out. They're trying to block the vision lanes of UYU. A bunch of marks come out, but nobody getting damage or downs on anybody just yet. Powerz is still on this mid-cut corner. Identivez will get cleaned up finally as a meat shield in the middle of the map. That'll break things open. That'll be a 5 versus 4 effective, but now Praized goes down himself with a second kill coming out on Kenny. Powerz is going to do everything he can to try to get at least one full spot on, but SuMuNs answers back, and the quick hop will get not only the kill, but it might give them that drop shot. You can see TJ picking up that snub. He's got two teammates, two people right here in front of him, but he's got one teammate in the top of the bunker to give him the opportunity to get that next meat shield, and here comes a secondary wave of lives in this round, PR.
I love what TJ did there. This round, this initial is all TJ. He got that down on Dezonide, didn't hesitate a single moment, and quickly went to help his teammates. If he doesn't do that, if he goes to kill Dezonide, his teammates get the revive, the Pittsburgh Knights are up, they have a man advantage, and they possibly are in the position with the drop shot. But now, on the other hand, though, it did not happen. UYU has the drop shot. They're going to fall back because they know at this point in time, PK is getting antsy. PK is getting desperate. They're going to make a mistake, and UYU is just waiting for it. Oh no! He didn't time the drop shot right!
I've never seen a drop miss by Kenny in that fashion. Kenny throws it just a little too long, bounces off the back wall, doesn't even give him a chance, but the 2 kills come through, so it's a 1 versus 2 trade in favor of UYU. SuMuNs is standing here. I believe that was Monkyz we saw for just a moment, hiding underneath that mid-cut area. If somebody can call him out, he's just walking back and forth. I think he's trying to set up to try to figure out where he can actually rotate. Kenny, meanwhile, has the snub out. I want to see if he has one more drop. I'm not sure if we can guarantee it. I only saw him shoot out 1 drop. Gonna be on your screen. Go ahead, laugh at it.
I'm just laughing at Monkyz. You see the way he's walking? He's trying to be as sneaky as possible. The problem is UYU is sponsored by Astro Gaming. Xplosive has them things cranked to the max. They hear him breathing from his household right now.
Hey, big shout-outs to Astro for all they do and the fantastic work, and Kenny does indeed have 1 more drop. I don't believe we're going to get to see another Exovios drop, because if one person is not going to misfire that bad boy, it's going to be Kenny B. Bounce. Big Egghead himself, but the 3-man push is coming toward the home hill. I want to see what he does. The long-range one goes over the top and gets the kill, and here comes the flank from Raver. They're going for the UYU special onto UYU. They're on the E-hill now. They're going to try to get this decap. Praized will pulls up and get 1 down onto Dezonide, but won't be able to clean it up. The Lancers are there from the home hill, but it is not enough yet. And right now, Pittsburgh Knights are looking to come back into this round. They've got to get back over to the artillery and try to stop them from getting that next drop shot, in which they are already mounted up here. And there it is in the hands of Monkyz. They're going to get the shots onto Raver, but Monkyz will indeed have the drop and get out with it.
I would love to watch Raver, or not Monkyz, for the rest of this round. I call him the MVP caliber player, but SuMuNs is in the fight right now. He's going to get a crucial down on Powerz. What a player to take out this late into the game. Praized is taken out as well. So a comeback is well underway for PK. You know Monkyz has that drop shot, waiting for that moment to use it. Kills and connects with DJ. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. He is the MVP. He wastes no time. He allows his teammates to cap it, and he gets right back onto the battlefield, knowing his teammates that are there need him now more than ever, especially SuMuNs in this situation.
I'll tell you what, he was far away from that thing, but that's why we always talk about that active. We always talk about trying to make sure it's there and reloaded properly before you take that shot, because the difference from an active to not with the drop shot, it's basically 2 different weapons. TJ's going to give up his life to that drop shot once again, and now the respawns look like they're going to be in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights going into round number 9. As good as UYU played this initial and that secondary set of lives, ladies and gentlemen, we will see a round number 9, map number 2 between the Pittsburgh Knights and UYU.
I told you, it's just not over into the very last seconds of the game. And when they were fighting on UYU's home hill, I don't know if it was communicated to them. I don't know if it was just instinct playing and knowing the situation. Those players went in towards the UYU home hill. They got the decap while fighting, and they ran away knowing those players were coming off a respawn to get that angle. That's where they reunited, got the down on Praized, and then from there, they were just wolf packing the rest of the way from this map on. So that causes a 4-4 scenario, round number 9, and the drop shot is going to be still on the field, and a shot grenade, though, is going to go over to UYU. The biggest advantage. I don't think it's going to play a big part on the initial, but then again, the way both of these teams are playing it, hiding tricks up their sleeve, it very well could. Nope.
Want to see how these teams rotate out here very shortly. They're going to see come over to this drop shot area, probably with those incendiaries. The first kill with the instant is always huge, and people that can get those first shots off with those instants, those easy picks, those easy kills. Kenny gets 2 down, though. My God. Nobody's cleaned up, though. 2 more downs. Look at the way the kill feed was nothing but Lancer downs and damages for a hot second, and now it's 4 dead against UYU, and they cannot stop Pittsburgh Knights from, I think, getting that drop shot in their favor. TJ's going to go down inside the bunker building. Here comes Identivez. Back A out. Will get the kill. And PR, the way this is setting up, I believe we're going to get to see ourselves a map number 3.
Yeah, especially with Kenny. No extra respawns remaining. Praized, no extra respawns remaining. Come on, say it with me, Colin. You might not say it right, but the chat will help you out. Vamos, PK. Si se puede. We can do it.
Vamos, PK, si se puede. Hey, there we go. That's how you say it. Down south where I'm from, down in Cobb County, right outside of Marietta, Georgia. PK,
I didn't think you'd actually do it.
You thought I was going to try? Boy, you know I'm going to try it. Look. What are Southerners famous for saying? Hold my beer. I might not drink, but it's basically hold my beer. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. All right, I'm going to give it one good time. So here we go. Stacked up. 3 people on UYU have no respawns remaining. Monkyz has got to be licking his chops. He literally got to be sitting there going, I dare you.
Fine, Kenny.
I double dog dare you.
Kenny's right there in the corner. I know it's a little risky, but Kenny's in the corner. He can't roll right or his left. Shoot the drop shot on the other side. Don't give him an exit. He's out of the game at that point. But It is a big risk, Colin. It is downtown. It's trying to throw a Hail Mary of sorts.
Nope, they're going to go ahead and back roll. They're going to get out of there. The Lancer damage will be there momentarily, but they're not going to come away with any downs or deaths really of any note to say. They're just going to get a couple of more downs onto the members of the Pittsburgh Knights. And again, it looks like UYU is basically sacrificing this to a single last push, long range from Praized, trying to get that kill. TJ already has the next incendiary in his hands. SuMuNs has the one of the side of the Pittsburgh Knights, mounting up all of this utility. There's Kenny. Just a little too long, and Kenny misrolls into the flank. Down at the. There's the drop. Kenny's gone, but there goes the other drop, and now Powerz is going to try his hand. Powerz is on his final life as well. He has nowhere really here he can run or hide. That's 3 dead on the side of UYU, wiped away, and they are taken down and out. Ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Knights battle back, make it 5-4 map number 2. They're going to see UYU in a map number 3.
I tricked you, Colin. I tricked you. I got you to say Vamos, PK. You're the reason why UYU lost. I win. No, on a serious note, congratulations to PK. I told you their comeback potential on this map is higher than everyone else's, and that's one thing I won't do to you is lie, Colin. So that was a great hard-fought match from PK. We're going to be going to map number 3, but we're going to give you guys a moment to grab your snacks, grab your drink, grab your hats if you tossed it in the air after that victory, because we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in mid-match of one of the best ones we've seen all weekend. Pittsburgh Knights versus UYU. Goes to round number 9, goes the distance in map number 2. Pittsburgh Knights come away with a victory, 5-4. But PR, I got to tell you, I saw somebody in chat, a couple of people actually, say that everybody in this matchup is just playing so, and I quote, try hard. I want to know your thoughts on that.
Is that it? Hold on. I wish I could see his face. I need to know if this is Joe Colin. Are you trolling me right now?
I'm actually not. I've seen it 3 times in chat.
You want my thoughts or my response?
Both, baby. Give me
they're
both.
almost the same. In what world are you watching an elite caliber tournament with hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line 3 days long and you're not trying your hardest? Please, why would you waste your time waking up in the morning to not try in a tournament that wins you hundreds of thousands of dollars and could literally change your life? Why? Tell me why.
You know what, PR? I think you're just defending it right now because you're a try. That's me trolling you. That's
I am a tryhard though. I'm the nicest person in the world, but get a controller in my hand and I'm playing a video game and I turn into a nightmare.
PR is that guy, by the way, in ranked that runs around and spams the boo emote, by the way. If anybody ever finds themselves in a matchup against somebody who's just running around booing the whole time, it's most likely PR. But look, if you take a look at the overhead for the maps, Forge, then Bunker, 5-2, 5-4. Pittsburgh Knights answer the bell. They come back in map number 2. If I was taking it to a judge's scorecard right now, I'd say the first 3 or 4 rounds, UYU, I mean, absolutely landed every punch they wanted to. They've set them down on the mat once or twice. We got to that standing 8 count. That's why I said Pittsburgh Knights, they answer the bell. Rounds 4, 5, and 6. I've got to score it in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights. But we're going to those final 3 or 4 rounds, depending upon if you're a 10, a 12, or a 15 round person, no matter when you started watching boxing, you've got to make that decision. We're going to those final few rounds. I don't want it to come to a judge's scorecard. I don't want him to put it on my back and say, who do you think won this matchup? I want to see somebody definitively win this because with all honesty, the winner of this to me is the best shot against Vanquish. Like, it is one of those things where these 2 teams are going to play their heart out and they are going to play to the top of their ability. But this is basically to figure out who the #1 contender is for Vanquish. Because, like, as good as this game is, there's that next matchup. There's always one more until you are holding a trophy over your head. So you can't show all your hands. You might show all your cards, but if you do it right here and now, you're tipping your hand and you're giving it away to some teams that have been playing fantastic all weekend. So I want one of these teams to come out, set the tone, and peel somebody else off their boot.
Because you got to realize you're not only fighting for this matchup right here in front of you, you're fighting to bring that momentum with you into the next day. Championship Sunday. I don't know if you guys heard that correctly, so I'll say it again. Championship Sunday. That's where everything is laid on the line, and you have to continue. You have to put what you've done for the first 2 days to use and pull it together on that 3rd and final day. There's no slouches. I always tell people, sometimes the way Gears where Esports is right now at this very day, you could be the best team on Friday. You can be the best team on Saturday, but if you don't show up 100%, if you give 99, if you give 98, you have the opportunity to get beaten because there are teams out there giving it 110%, and we've already seen that through the first 2 days.
And without a doubt, you are 100% correct. You've got to give it all every single round. We are getting official word, though. We are loading into map number 3. I believe it was District PR. So this thing is going to come down to a map that both teams have played a hell of a lot. I mean, we even talked about it way back in E-League. You came to me and you said, Colin, be on the lookout for how Pittsburgh plays District. They will set the tone. They will set the pace. They will set the meta. And by God, if you weren't correct then, if you're not correct now, this is one of those things where I can't wait to see how Pittsburgh Knights goes against UYU, because the last time they played for money on this map, UYU matched them in intensity in that mid-cut area. They took them down, put them out, and gone ahead and I believe won the E-Days tournament that they played them in grand finals in, where they stomped them out on this map, I think for map 1 or 2. But this is map 3 now. This is in a much bigger tournament and a much bigger setting put on by the same great people over at UMG Gaming. But we are now here at District, and I want to hear your final thoughts going into this. Do you think Pittsburgh Knights are going to continue to be able to press that same advantage?
I think that the possibility is there, but I will say an angry Xplosive, you don't lose map number 2 and you're happy about it. An angry Xplosive is going to be a dangerous one, so I think that we are going to see 7 rounds. We're going to see a 5-2 scoreline. We are going to see a 5-2 scoreline in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights. I think, yes, They're going to continue their domination. They're going to continue what they were doing. What they are able to do in the late portions of these rounds is just incredible. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen is just them getting over-aggressive on that triple cap domination scenario to where they got wiped. As long as they can keep those mistakes to a minimum, they will come out on top. And like I said, 7 rounds, Colin. I'm predicting 7 rounds.
That is a bold prediction and a bold statement. Here we are as they roll out a spawn, stacking up, and it looks like Pittsburgh Knights are maybe going for that early point tick at the home hill, so they're going to be able to see if they can stop UYU from getting the cap there on B. You see the couple of downs come out. The revives will come through, though, and we will continue forward in this next couple of moments in this round to figure out who will get the true advantage, because you know that Pittsburgh Knights aren't going to sit back and let UYU just have a 2-to-1 hill advantage.
No, they're not going to give this one up easy. It's just about finding the holes, using the information that you gain through maneuvering around the map to make things happen. And the information they gain says, hey, the push we want to make happen is towards the lower end of the map. Even if we're not going for the decap right away, it's about splitting the numbers of UYU, not letting them act as a 5-man team. So now you see it. It's around 3 players up top, 2 players towards the low side from each guys, and we have a split fight between the 2. So it's going to be up to the Pittsburgh Knights here to make the first play. And it's already going down with Monkyz getting that crucial decap towards the top half of the map on this neutral. But Powerz is not going to let that one go easy. He's trying to fight for position, but he realized that's too much damage being output. Let's have a rotation come through, because Praized is having some trouble in there against Dezonide. Now Xplosive, he meets that same fate. That's going to be a big double kill. With 16-second respawns called, I expect some pressure from the Pittsburgh Knights.
And they are applying it. The triple cap domination will begin to tick through and does, in fact, come through. 1 round closer to your 7-round prediction. PR, UYU still looking, I don't want to say shaky, but still looking a little off kilter after losing that round number 9 and losing, I believe it was round 8 as well, to kind of put them in that position. So we are going to come here. You know, there's just going to be flashes put out, and there's no need to really dissect or talk about why teams are deciding to do this, but both of these teams got to come to the middle of the map and almost have a come to Jesus. If I'm UYU, I'm not sure what I do, because you played that pretty perfectly for the first 20 to 30 seconds, but then you just let PK kind of have their way with the rotations and how they push up into your spawn. So I have to see if they can correct those mistakes, come forward in the next round, and see if they can slow them down. But right now, Pittsburgh Knights, they're playing at that next gear. They're playing at that next level.
This is going to be interesting. You see the strategies coming out once more. It's going to be a triple cap scenario for the Knights. So they're going for that early point lead, but UYU reads that instantly. They go for that double cap, but TJ does go down. Kenny got 1 revive, but the train revives aren't going to come through just yet. He hops back over in the nick of time, and it works out, but the train comes through. TJ goes down. Kenny goes down as well. The eliminations get picked up, so the Pittsburgh Knights win the initial in terms of eliminations, but they still have to decap this hill. In just a few seconds, it does look like we'll get that decap off, but the cap as well. Look at the overhead map, the adjustments being made from UYU. They don't give up an inch without doing something else on the other side of the map.
UYU's still stuck in their info. They haven't moved out very far. TJ's going to go into that bandstand. They might have a 2 versus 1 onto him if they can rotate around the map quick enough, and they are, in fact, going to get some damage onto him. He tries to get the quick kill with that right hand onto, I believe that was Monkyz. SuMuNs is going to turn around. SuMuNs is the one that downed, and the misroll comes through for Powerz, and the double down comes out. I think Kenny's in the area to get the quick revive off. They need to press this advantage, though. You see all of the kills come through in the middle of the map. Identivez will have the pressure onto multiple members of UYU, but UYU is not moving quick enough. Somebody needs to sneak over to B, but nope. Nobody for UYU has the correct call out right now. That's confusion. That's befuddlement. And that is not something that I am used to with an explosive-led squad.
All right, so they see those players come off a respawn, and that's when the play has to be called. But maybe they faked it. You see these players? They know they have the mismatch, but I don't know if that mismatch is going to be enough. The players from UYU are holding on to this fight, and Kenny Bounce will have the last laugh as he takes out Monkyz and Identivez. Triple cap domination sounding off for a moment. Nobody really in position to get this break, so UYU has pulled one out from under the rug and snuck around out from the Pittsburgh Knights, and that's exactly what you have to do in those situations. I know you were talking about a miscommunication or maybe a lapse in communication in general, but a fake by PK, a greedy play, an over-aggressive play turns it on his side and allows UYU to walk away with the last laugh.
My man Dezo out here with no deaths, looking at a 1-to-1 scoreline like, hey, yo, what? I'm just kidding. I've already used that meme too many times this weekend. All right, so I'm gonna retire that one for the rest of the weekend. I just had to say,
what the
I'm telling you, I look at that scoreline, and I say, my man's 3-5 has got Nero Desert. He's like, guys, what happened? All right? Something had to happen, and nobody told me what was happening. So here we come. Both teams this time going for the triple cap at the home hills, and that scoreline is on the edge of a lightning bolt. I couldn't tell you who has that tick. A PR, you go ahead and tell him, dog, because I don't want to say it.
We're talking about no deaths for, I think you said Dezonide, Xplosive, and TJ. It's 1-1, and they have no kills and no assists, and they found a way to make that one happen. And that goes to show you, Colin, that it's not just about kills. It's not just about eliminations. The rotations, the positioning is just as important. Having a brain and having that strategy to back up is just as important. But obviously, if you could ask teams like VQ, those eliminations are very important in their book.
Hey, look, sometimes the stat line means a hell of a lot less than you ever think it does when it comes to winning rounds and winning games. Both teams are set up here in the middle of the map. Again, nobody making a move. I mean, this is nuts to me to see. We've gotten almost 60 seconds into the round because it's a 1-to-1 hill cap situation, and nobody's making a positional move. Nobody's trying to push up because, again, I have no idea who has the early tick here in that point differential. So nobody's really trying to get a cap on B. Nobody's trying to push across home to home. Somebody's going to have to make a mistake. I think that's what this is going to come down to. Somebody is going to have to basically either throw a flash and get loose. Someone's going to try to push up. He's full red. TJ gets Xplosive, gets the down on. There's the first down for Xplosive. TJ rolls in. I don't think they can get, they're not getting the downs picked up quick enough. They're finally going to start to answer back, but nobody's getting any kills once again for UYU in the middle of the map. Somebody has to start answering back and put their shotgun in somebody's grill to make this happen. Bouncing around, the melee comes out. Xplosive defends his home hill for a moment, but 2 players left alive for the Pittsburgh Knights, and they're going to push the home hill of UYU.
I don't care who capped that neutral hill. I'm just happy somebody had that neutral hill because I had my nose to my monitor trying to figure out who had that split-second lead. But UYU is going to take more than just that lead as they start putting together some eliminations. That's going to be 2 players dead for PK, and the aggressive Powerz knows I can take almost every 1v1, but I can't win them all because guess who he just went up against? MVP Monkyz himself. And yes, I'm going to call him that until there's an actual award given out to one of these players. Powerz is going to go ahead and make sure he kills himself. Monkyz knows, leave him down, stagger the death. Dezonide trying to creep up, but he gets crossed out from the juice. Raver's in a tight spot here. He goes down. PK needs reinforcements. Xplosive on the line, but he goes down, takes too much damage. That wolf pack from Knights is just too much right now. It's going to be up to Powerz with this flank. He's going to be able to get one, but he gets taken down. PK SuMuNs continuing this aggression. That's going to be a double kill. That Lancer is too strong. 5 players dead. Kenny's going to save it for a moment, but just a moment. He's not even going to be able to touch a hill. He's just going ahead and saying hi to PK. I'll be waiting for you next round.
2-1. We go to the last round of the first half, and once again, nobody is really making a definitive statement here. This is worrying not just for this matchup, but for the rest of the tournament, if you ask me, when it comes to either of these teams having a shot at Vanquish and the way that they have been playing. Raver is going to hover over that cinema.
Not yet. Please don't do it yet.
He's going to hover over it. He's going to hover.
You give away your weapon selection lead by...
All right. Look,
basically, you almost give away 2.
I'm not going to lie to you, PR. I almost like that because Pittsburgh Knights' Wolfpack has been dominating over UYU, so I really don't see a problem with it. I see it as Raver saying, look, y'all want to fight us? Come on ahead and fight us. We're going to find out if you can win a fight.
You know, I'll go ahead and agree with that. I'll look at the bright side of things because not only that, they chose where the drop shot fight is going to be at. Instead of at Bandstand, they wanted at the cinema. It's a better fight for them, but the stuns are coming in. Players getting flashed left and right. Looking like the 4th of July out here. TJ, though, is going to get first blood. Powerz is going to follow it up. Kenny with the drop shot. That's a dangerous sight to see. This fight is going to continue because UYU wants all the eliminations.
Powerz is going to bounce around. Little roadie strafe out. Going to sit down on that cover. He's going to try to bounce back toward the middle of the map right now. And you see Xplosive here as well. They've got 1 player of Pittsburgh Knights kind of angled out. They're going to continue to Lancer him. Not sure how much damage has been done. SuMuNs finally goes down. Xplosive gets shot in the back. Multiple members of PK still coming off of respawn, still trying to set back up in the middle of the map. And Kenny doesn't have his drop out in hand just yet. He finally, I believe, pulls it out for just a moment, but I don't think he's used it at all in this situation. So he's going to have 2 rockets in his pocket. First one out, we'll find a kill. He's got 1 more to worry about, 1 more to deal with, and a player is sneaking off over to B, and Kenny's going to have a drop shot to go ahead and put on his dome piece if he tries TJ's gonna get full force ran at.
No.
He eats it. That's the mental shot. John Kefaluko's fall out on the analyst desk. The mental shot is walk towards your opponent, take the bait, eat the first one, and then chunk him to high heavens.
Kenny from that flank, he said, "What's up?" Brand new drop, just dropped it, and he got a kill right on the home mill to continue this UYU domination. These are the quickest respawn timers of the half. PK's just spawning up one after the next, but man, they just got completely dominated in a chain of kills. Minute and 35, UYU tied this bad boy up, and just like Colin said, neither team is being able to get 1 foot in front of the other. They're just completely at a standstill, just staring at each other with a staring contest, neither team wanting to blink.
You're going to come into this next fight at the Cinema PR. You're not going to have that shot grenade that UYU is going to have in this round. If you could come away with a victory, that's huge because that brings you back kind of into the weapon placement conversation. But TJ is probably going to have to go big again because he gets, I think, a double, almost a triple kill in that last round to give them the first advantage. Powerz hops without dropping his flash, but here comes the retake by Raver. He's going to get the kill there onto TJ after the first trade. Powerz is trying to answer back for his team. The shocks are out. The drop is in hand. Powerz doesn't waste the first rocket trying to clean up an easy kill there. Monkyz is going to go down in the middle. SuMuNs is moving up. He's going to get the first shot on. He's going to kill the drop shot. He killed the drop shot.
That's a big kill. Even though Kenny did get the trade, no more drop shot in play. And honestly, this is no shade on Kenny Bouts. If I'm Powerz, I'm not dying for anybody, for any situation while I have a drop shot. I'll make sure I put it to use. And when Kenny respawns, guess what? I'll wait for him to spawn and give that drop shot right back. But UYU here, without the drop shot, are still going to manage to find 2 hills under their control. And those players that died early on, they're going to be right back onto the field to get ready for some defensive setup. But the one thing to take note of, those 2 players from Pittsburgh Knights, both Dezonide and Monkyz towards the top half of the map, they can easily adjust and push home hill to home hill, but it's actually the juice they're seemingly after, and they're going to take out Powerz. That's going to open up any rotation that they want to make, and they want the hill. They realize points are the objective, and we need more as this fight is going to continue. Praized does go down. They have these 2 players locked in a corner. TJ is going to get 1. He gets taken down. Kenny falls. Double kill going over to Raver. 4 members dead. Make that 5 as Xplosive gets taken out as well. COG domination as the Pittsburgh Knights win their 3rd round, and this is looking like a boxing match. Haymakers back and forth, one round, but we got to lag out. Oh my God, what a way to just deflate me. I'm going home.
All right, I am too. Hold on, let's take our headset off.
All right, I'm home.
All right, I am too, don't worry.
All right, so even though the Pittsburgh Knights, they won that round, do you think this, I don't want a technical error, a lag out, this kind of hurts their momentum, or does this kind of help them think of a new strategy?
I don't have any idea, brother. I don't want to say I'm infuriated, but like, come on, guys. Come on, man. How you gonna have this happen in 3-2, map number 3? 60-second shot grenades placed down. Who was it? It was somebody for UYU. It was Xplosive. Hold up. Hold up. Xplosive, pay go feed the hands.
Out from Kenny Bounce and the passion for the game in general, that makes him one of the best players in Gears of War history.
No argument here, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 6 is underway. TJ Force throwing out the flashbang. He's going to try to get some of these kills like he did a couple of rounds ago, but the stuns come out for both sides. The shocks come out for both sides as well. I think we might have a controller disconnect because now TJ is hanging out in the middle of God and everybody and is getting shot on and killed off there by SuMuNs over the cover. And I don't blame SuMuNs. Look, if I saw somebody standing still and I was able to shoot fish in a barrel, I'd take advantage of that too. The elimination domination ticks on through. Ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Knights are 1 round away from a 5-2, 7-round PR. Oh my God, we had another disconnect. We had TJ disconnect.
Wow. So to me, that's possibly explained. Maybe it wasn't a controller battery dying, because I was going to say, man, you're in an online major and you don't have Duracells ready to go. You don't have a cord plugged in to your Xbox Series X. Are you kidding me? But no, okay, never mind. It wasn't that. But this is where it is going to get interesting, though. Okay, never mind. He already lagged out. I was going to say, because I seen a match where PK actually had a player lag out, but that player was controlling the weapon selection screen, so he was unable to select a spot for the weapon, which randomly dropped a weapon onto the map.
That would have been awesome.
it didn't hurt them. They still ended up winning winning the match overall. PK did, but just to have something like that happen, oof, that's a blunder of sorts. But solid.
I don't know what to do, brother. We just left. We just left, my man. I feel like
they're taking turns right now.
You know what? While we're here, this is what we're gonna do to start our fill. You got any shout outs for the community while we're sitting here? You got anybody that you just want to give props to?
I want to give props to Ruth. She's sitting right next to me. She puts up with all of my annoying antics. All those people in chat that call me annoying. Now imagine sitting next to me every day of your life. So give a huge shout out to Ruth. Whoa! I'm coming for you. Don't let me catch you at the next event.
Ruth knows out of the two of you, she's my favorite. So
she does. She definitely does.
There's no competition in that situation. But look,
she's everyone's favorite. Oh yeah, we'll pick you up. Don't worry. As soon as Ruth gets in the car, they're gone.
And now they're like PR texts somebody, and he's like, "Can I go with y'all?" And they're like, "Is Ruth coming?"
Only if you bring her.
That's right. Oh, man. So we get our shout out from PR. We're back to waiting for somebody to... Oh, thank God. TJ was quicker, at least. At least TJ came back quicker than a hiccup. Oh, God. I'm so excited.
So we know who has better internet on UYU. TJ won. Was that Xplosive 0?
TJ won Xplosive 0. So we've loaded into the map. See how everybody gets back into here and starts setting up for this next round, which could be the final round. It is round number 7. I'll tell you what, man, I have never seen something with so much momentum get its knees chopped off so quickly. Like, I've never witnessed that in my life.
But it's all right. We're getting back into the action. And this is, honestly, when you're playing a baseball game, you got to play through the distractions. When you're playing a football game, you got to play through the noise. When you're playing a Gears of War online match, you got to play through all the technical pauses.
TCs happen, right? DCs happen, whether it be bad in the movie theaters or in the middle of a district map. So DCs do happen. Shock Out's going to get a double down for the side of the Pittsburgh Knights, and that's the kind of start they needed. Beautiful job by the Pittsburgh Knights, and now they're going to focus on the last 2 or 3 members of UYU. And this is going to be one of those situations where not sure what is going to be Praized's next option. As you see, the drop shot is in the hands of SuMuNs. He's going to be player number 7, backing off the home hill. I believe they're just going to go ahead and try their hand at getting these extra kills to make sure that if it does go late in the rounds, they can ensure that they don't have the respawns to use. Recap there on the home hill of UYU. Powerz will be coming off of respawn, but Kenny does pick up 1 kill finally down there at the bottom side of the map. He has to worry about 2 more. He slides in, gets a little bit of damage. There's the drop shot. After that little bit of damage, it does get the kill on him.
And this is not looking good for UYU. Those technical pauses were probably too long for them. They are coming back like a flat soda, just not in this. I don't want to drink them. I want to pour it down the drain and pop open a new one, because right now they're just getting dominated all over the map. They have 3 players down low. They're ready to block them. They're locking these other players from UYU towards the top. They're not giving up any inches. It's going to make a big play, a big calculated play coming out from UYU, or a mistake as someone almost gets down there on the side of PK. As you see, the push does look like it's gearing up towards the bottom half of the map. You got Kenny with that smoke out for a moment, waiting to throw it. You have a couple players towards the top side. And the thing that I fear right now is UYU taking too much time to where they can't get organized towards the last portion of this round.
Kenny will have the marks out over the top of that. He's just trying to find where different members are. Flash, long range over toward Dezonide. Dezonide has 1 more flash to use. He's going to drop both of them into the lap of Kenny. Kenny won't be able to get stunned off the second one either, but Powerz is now going to be left in the corner in a 1v2. Back A comes out. Head comes clean off. 2 kills in favor of UYU now, but answered right back. Dezonide down here at the bottom is going to get Lancered out. He's going to get picked up and cleaned off. UYU trying to fight back into this round. It's going to be about a 100-point differential still, though, and they will not get this win condition in their favor. They're going to have to get the secondary drop, and they are going to have to get that drop and get eliminations and a decap at Pittsburgh's home, because right now Pittsburgh Knights are stacked and stouted and ready to go. Kenny will get the down there with the Lancer, not going to be able to get that kill clean up as 2 more members are in the area. See now, rolling back is Xplosive. They're going to try to triple Lancer out. I believe that was Identivez who did get the drop. They're not going to be able to get the kill on him.
And Identivez knows sometimes shoot those drops like Skittles, thinking he always has another one. 2 duds of a drop, but it's facilitating damage. It's making them roll out wide into the Lancers, hopping over the cover. He's going to finish a couple of those kills as well. Identivez on match point, making some plays, but Kenny and Powerz on the side of UYU are doing everything in their power to stop this one from coming through. Praized is stopping the team from hopping over. He's putting out a lot of damage. Down coming through, but he needs some help. He needs the rest of this team. Powerz, though. Powerz is getting this decap to come through. Nobody's sneaking past from PK. The decap is successful. The eliminations are coming through. UYU is making it happen. It's all up to Identivez again. He's in a 1v2 situation. He is not going to win it. And there goes another round stolen away by UYU.
4-3, the 7-round prediction by PR will not come to fruition. UYU must now win back-to-back rounds to come away with this victory over the side of the Pittsburgh Knights. They have come back from the depths of hell before. Let's see if they can answer back in this situation. Block there on the shock of both teams. They're gonna play round 9 clean, but Pittsburgh Knights, they're gonna try to win this without their shock, and they're gonna try to make sure UYU doesn't have theirs either. Rolling out of spawn, we're still going to have an actual fight and a war over that drop shot with no more shocks to use. Flashbangs will be the utility grenade of choice. Here they come. TJ trying to get into the fight first. He's going to bounce around. He's going to roll into that cover. Now he's on the cover. He's going to have one down over the top. They're going to be able to clean him up, but TJ will get cleaned up himself. Monkyz still on the cover. He might go for that quick head down roll. Not going to get it. Kenny goes down with a drop yet again. Nobody stays there to protect him.
That's going to be big, but also Kenny, I felt like he could have got out of that one. Roll back. He went forward to try to defend that shock and play, but nonetheless, the rest of UYU picking up this slash. It's 3-4. UYU need this round to force a tiebreaker map, and before this one, I didn't want to jinx it, so I didn't want to say it. I wanted a round number 9, and I'll go the extra mile. I wanted to come down between Praized and Monkyz in a 1v1.
Oh my goodness gracious, I would love to see that thing happen.
I meant Powerz. I meant Powerz.
I don't care. It could be either one. They're both playing out of their minds. Everybody on this map is playing out of their god-dang minds. Crazier than the Wile E. Coyote with nothing below them except the bottom of a canyon, an Acme box, and a target somewhere down there waiting for him to fall in. Xplosive is going to clean up 2 kills. He's going to trade out his life, which I'm not sure is necessarily the worst possibility in this situation. Kenny's actually going to get the revive off on him. This is going to be a triple cap situation trying to be forced out by UYU, and they're going to get it. UYU tie it up 4-4. We go to round number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, they have fought back, and they are now in a position to win this matchup.
This is just insane action going down. I thought those breaks were really hurting the momentum for UYU. And even that lag out from TJ while the round started, they ended that one quick. So now it's tied up 4-4, like you said. Round number 9, you got to think both of these shocks will be back up every 60 seconds as soon as PK matches it. So it is really going to come down to this very final round, Colin. And I almost want to ask you, any bold predictions? You sticking with UYU? Because you can change your mind now.
I'm ready for him.
So this one is going to take off here. Standard strategy. It's actually going to be a trick strat. That's Dezonide towards the low side. He's getting a flank, trying to catch somebody off guard, but Powerz gets baited in. The drop shot. There goes the shock. Players are down. Xplosive goes down as well, but I do think the revive is going to come through on Powerz at the very least. Identivez needs to be careful here. TJ is pressing up. SuMuNs is getting a loaded down somewhere in towards the middle. TJ needs to win this 1v1 because the rest of his team, they're going down behind him. Kenny falls. TJ falls. Powerz, the last hope for UYU over towards this drop shot, needs to handle this 1v1. Praized is spawning up, buying his team time for the other side of the map, but Powerz finally gets taken out. This match, I thought it would be a war, and a war it is.
Praized is going to have to try to stay alive as long as he can. He's going to throw out one more shot as he wraps around the cover in the corner. You can see the downs for both teams coming through, but nobody's really cleaning up many kills now. You can see Xplosive was trying to answer back. TJ in the area gets 1. TJ's going to get 2. 4 dead. It's a 1v1 in the middle of the map. Monkyz has to retreat toward the info. No drop on the map. Monkyz has it, as a matter of fact. Excuse me. Monkyz has the drop. UYU will have the 2-1 hill advantage, but this thing is going to settle up here shortly. And once again, Pittsburgh Knights are going to have to make a push on the back of that drop by Monkyz. TJ back in the bandstand, not sure what he's going to be able to do in this situation. He's going to have to rotate out of here. Xplosive is going to be there for the revive. But Pittsburgh Knights are not on the hill just yet. Long range drop is not going to find anybody. I don't know if that was 1 or 2, but I need to take a look. I think that might have been 2 as Monkyz has already switched over to his snub.
They need to treat this like Easter Sunday, Colin. They need to find the egg and take him out. Kenny has no respawns remaining. That is your target. That is your win condition. But instead, they're letting UYU getting away with getting this lead with 2 hills. Unfortunately, it is going to stop. PK finally getting that decap to come through. 1v1 towards the top side of the map. It does look like it's being pressed by Powerz. If I trust anybody 1v1, it is him. But the crossfire from UYU on this neutral, it's going to come through. Lots of downs coming through, but the chain revives from PK. Not a single elimination just yet. SuMuNs goes down as well. He's trying to put the pressure on. TJ knows this one's coming. The revives are going to come through. All 5 members of PK are rotating to the low side of the map, giving up a free hill to Powerz, and UYU seemingly holding on for a moment, but the eliminations are going away of the Pittsburgh Knights.
Kenny snuck over to the drop shot. Kenny has snuck over to the back of the cinema. I want to make note of that. No respawns remaining for Kenny. He's now mounted up at the back of the drop shot. Powerz is going to try his hand in this 1v1 position. He's going to bounce around back and forth, but he's going to get taken down and out. Raver will kill him off. Dezonide, no respawn. Kenny is down. Nobody's there to get the cleanup. Kenny needs to keep retreating right here. I don't care what you do, Kenny. Get away from this fight. Triple cap domination doesn't matter to me. You have to make sure you come away with your life. There's 2 more kills for UYU. They're going to get their home back in favor. They can get a retake off, but they have to come back off of respawn once again. TJ has no respawns as well. All of these deaths are so huge. Kenny almost puts himself in chunk range yet again. Shots on. There's the down. I think that was a 3rd down and out for our Monkyz as well. Shots in. Powerz is down in the back of the bandstand. That drop is going to roll around. It might. It clean. Okay, so it didn't clean him up.
Alive.
Powerz does stay alive.
The UYU effect is real right now, but they need the hills. There goes another kill from Powerz. He is just making one thing happen after the next. The kills are being decapped. Triple cap domination sounding off. Pittsburgh Knights, they desperately need these kills. They have the lead for just a few moments, and this is the moment I'm talking about. Realizing when to overextend. Monkyz uncontested. He needs that decap, but he's not going to go for it, Colin. He's not going for the decap. Monkyz is actually going for a flank on Kenny. SuMuNs, he's out of the game. There's 2 players for the Pittsburgh Knights with no lives remaining. Kenny's out of the game as well. A 2v4 for the remainder of this one as players are getting taken out left and right. UYU is going to fall. PK, the Knights come out on top 5-4.
18 rounds in the last 2 maps. Couldn't have asked for a better situation. 5-4, 5-4. The Pittsburgh Knights win back-to-back maps in round number 9, and it took any and everything they had to get that victory. Powerz 20-11 still gets the MVP for the map, but absolute stellar gameplay by the Pittsburgh Knights. Couldn't have asked for anything more in that situation. I mean, this was a perfect situation for UYU to try to come out on top, but the deaths and the downs are absolutely in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights leading into that last round as they are ahead in the respawn counter. All of Identivez, all of Pittsburgh Knights, like they came out on top. They deserved that win. That was huge for them going forward to their tournament because now UYU has to find themselves the losers bracket run for a 3rd time in 5 major tournaments in Gears 5.
And that's just one thing for PK, though. Man, they really fought hard for this, but honestly, I really don't want to take anything away from them, but they almost got gifted a few rounds there. I wonder what would have happened if the lag outs didn't happen, but we all know once it lagged out happens mid-round, you got to continue playing on. The show must go on, and that's exactly what PK did. They not only let the show go on, but they took over in the end.
You can see here a couple of highlight reel plays from both teams. They're really going to put their best foot forward, and I just cannot explain to you how great and how fantastic all 10 of those players are. No matter what you saw on your screen come to fruition was literally 10 of the best Gears esports players on the planet going to war for one another, trying to come away with a single round at the end of 3 maps for a victory just to move forward in a winner's bracket. If they were willing to put that foot forward now, what the hell do you think they're going to do in a grand finals if either of these teams make it there? But for right now, Pittsburgh Knights, I think they have the rest of the night off. I'm not sure if they're going to have to play one more game or if they get to come back bright fresh and early in the morning to play their next winner's bracket game. But for now, the focus is on the fact that even though they lose 5-2 at map 1, they fight back-to-back round 9s and win 2 and 3, the second and third map, on Bunker and District. And one of those being UIU's map pick. PR, I'm not necessarily speechless, but I defer to you in this because you know a hell of a lot more about the Pittsburgh Knights than I do. What is the thing that carries them forward in those situations when they get so grit and gritty?
When they get in your face, when you're in that huddle, if you guys been in any of those boot camps, you see them playing on the main stage, they get loud, they get in your face. But as soon as that round is over, yeah, they might be screaming, saying good job, a few seconds here and there, but then they get right back into the game, they get right back into the strategy. I can almost guarantee you 1,000% during those technical pauses when Xplosive and TJ lagged out of the game, they were talking strategy, they were talking plans, they were talking audible. So if UIU shows this is exactly what we were going to do. And when things like that happen that late into the game, that is crucial. That is such a good thing that you could do with your teams. I bet Monkyz is in there probably cheering him on. He's probably sweating more than me right now in this hot jacket the way that match went. But Monkyz is one of those masterminds. He's probably one of the most elite coaches in the game, because if you look at Splice, if you look at this Ronin team, if you look at the Pittsburgh Knights, this squad, this core member, if you look at how they were performing before, they were kind of streaky. They were kind of getting in there. Yeah, they had an impressive Paris performance, but it wasn't really until Monkyz sat behind them they really took their game into the next level. Heck, they were one of the teams to not only defeat Optic Gaming during their dynasty run, but eliminate them entirely from the tournament.
And look, I'm happy that you're giving a shout out to Monkyz. He is one of the better coaches, if not one of the best coaches walking on the face of the earth for Gears Esports. So big shouts out to him. You know that team inside and out much better than I do. So all I can do is kind of congratulate them, sit back, relax, and watch them with a smile on my face. Because once again, there's no hatred in my heart for anybody on that team. Yeah, I pick UIU when it comes to having a pick between those two teams. But at the end of the day, all those guys are fantastic human beings. We actually got to watch one of the, I think probably the best moment for me, I would almost say, in the entire world, and I want to put this out there for everybody in the chat. If you don't remember this, make sure you not lock it down in your hearts. Dezonide is one of the best humans on the planet, no matter what you might hear about him, because when Reciprocity won that championship in Mexico City and they started to get booed by that hometown crowd because of who they just beat, he stepped up to the plate. He made sure they all understood that Reciprocity earned it. They're the champions. Cheer them on. So right now, no matter who you're a fan of, I don't care what team on the planet you think you're cheering for, stand up, clap for the Pittsburgh Knights, because they won that matchup. And they're going to go ahead in this winner's bracket. We need to continue to show that kind of sportsmanship, that kind of gamesmanship each and every matchup, because at the end of the day, we are Gears fan. We're all one big happy bunch of crazies that like to play a game that frustrates and infuriates us. But whenever you get a kill, it's as rewarding as feeling like you're getting those gates of heaven opened up for you. PR, I ain't got much else to say, though, before we throw it over to this commercial break. I know you are trying your hardest to probably think of something right now, but I don't mean to make it hard to follow that up, but that's all I can think of, baby.
No, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. A lot of these teams, they put their hard work, they put their passion, the sacrifices some of these teams make. Yeah, maybe a game like Gears of War, but they sacrifice hanging out with their friends. They sacrifice, I wouldn't say going out to movies, but movie times. They sacrifice time with their loved ones. Yeah, we might be in a pandemic, but you spend time on the computer, you spend time scrimming. That's time you are not getting with your loved ones. You're not getting with your friends. You're not getting to relax. So all that hard work, all that stress for these competitors pays off in the end. So yeah, even though UYU did lose, they tournament lives are not over just yet. And if you guys looking at some of these teams and you're surprised by some of these performances, specifically Noble, specifically Vanquish, you guys need to realize, yeah, hard work does do a good job, but the only thing that beats hard work is hard work backed by passion. And if you take notes of some of the players that are on top right now, they're very passionate about the game. They're very passionate about being the best. It's not for money. It's not for the glory. It's simply for the title of being the best in Gears Esports.
You goddamn right, Jacob MVPR. And look, I hope all of you come back after this break, because we're going to have our very own Jordan Curl be joined by King SuMuNs after that brilliant matchup in map number 3. Don't go anywhere.